few hours have gone by since O'Neill, Aaron, and Lisa started their conversation. "Wow," Lisa says, as she takes another sip of her fourth beer. "I'm sorry you went through that," Aaron added. "Yeah, well, that's part of the job," said O'Neill. Suddenly, a knock at the door. "Who the hell is that?" O'Neill questions. Two more knocks at the door. "O'Neill, open up," says a male voice from the other side of the thick wooden door. "Who is it?" O'Neill yells out as he picks up his Beretta. "O'Neill, open this goddamn door." "No way," O'Neill thinks. "Is that?" O'Neill opens the door. "Stone, you son of a bitch." O'Neill pulls Stone through the doorway, then throws a perfect right cross, connecting with Stone's chin. Stone hits the floor of the cabin. "You motherfucker," O'Neill says as he grabs Stone by the collar of his jacket, lifting him to his feet. "They died because of you." Stone breaks free of O'Neill's grip and throws a hook that connects to the side of O'Neill's face. "Stop it, you morons," Aaron yells. The two men look at Aaron. O'Neill picks up his Beretta and places it on the glass coffee table. "What are you doing here?" O'Neill says to Stone. "I came here to find you, and I'm sure you've heard of the sightings in the area and the surrounding state parkland," Stone replied. "Dumbass. They're everywhere," O'Neill said. "Well, one or more is close." "What do you mean?" Lisa said. "I passed by a mess of bodies on my way here. 2 state troopers and a civilian. They were ripped apart, rich. It was a bloody shit show. The troopers got some shots off, but it wasn't enough," Stone explained. "Was it a Dogman?" asked Aaron. The carnage left behind looked like a Dogman's handiwork. "Well, if that's the case, we better get ready," O'Neill exclaimed. "I assume you stopped and assessed the area, Stone. It probably was still in the area and has your scent." "Shit, that ain't good," Stone said. Suddenly, a loud howl. "What the fuck was that?" Aaron says hysterically. "That sounded close. Too close," Lisa added. O'Neill moved quickly to the light switch on the wall, flicking the switch. The darkness outside lit up with white light. He then moves to the gun cabinet and removes the M4A1, 6 boxes of 5.56 caliber rounds, and 3 magazines. "Stone, that closet to your left. Open it. Grab the tactical vest and toss it over here. There's another for you." Stone quickly opened the door and removed the 2 black tactical vests and, also inside the closet, a small cardboard box. Stone removes the box and opens it. A beautiful night vision scope, as well as the necessary attachments needed to attach the scope to a rifle. He removes the scope as he throws one of the vests to O'Neill. "O'Neill, I assume this beauty fits on the 7mm. "You got that right, brother," O'Neill replied. "Stone, heads up." Stone lifts his head as Aaron throws the Remington 700 at him. Stone gets to work, attaching the scope to the weapon. Aaron removes the HK-416 and the proper magazines, and she starts loading rounds into them, then loads the magazine into the weapon and pulls the slide. O'Neill looks at Aaron. "Nicely done." Suddenly, a shadow quickly passes the window, scratching on the side of the house, then taps on the kitchen window with a firm thump against the east exterior wall. Growls can be heard outside of the cabin. Stone's eyebrows raise. "We have to get out of here." "No," O'Neill yells. "It's testing us right now." A shriek of a scream escapes Lisa's lips. They all turn to see a large silhouette peering into a window on the side of the house. pointy ears, peering eyes, the creature's breath fogging up the window. Stone and O'Neill raise their weapons. A deep growl emerges from the creature. White fangs appear. Suddenly, gunfire erupts, followed by 2 clicks of the revolver. Loud footfalls can be heard as the beast retreats back into the darkness beyond the lights. "What the hell are you shooting at?" O'Neill yells as he turns to see Lisa holding a smoking .38 caliber pistol. "Are you out of your goddamn mind?" Stone says. "I'm sorry," Lisa says as she shakes. O'Neill had grabbed the empty .38 from her trembling hands. "It was looking at me. It freaked me out." Suddenly, a smash against the front door of the cabin. O'Neill and Stone quickly turn, weapons at the ready. O'Neill switches his weapon to full auto. Stone. "Upstairs, brother. It's a loft up there. See what you can spot with the NV scope." "On it," Stone declared. Aaron quickly takes position next to O'Neill, holding the HK-416 steadily in her hands. The wind blows through his black and red fur, his ears bent slightly back, his muscles ripple as he pushes off of the hard forest floor, bounding 10 feet or more, effortlessly, as he keeps pace with the human's machine. The human scent is still fresh in his nose. The scent of this one is familiar to him. He has the odor of death upon him, a scent he is familiar with. The machine begins to slow as it turns onto a small path that cuts through the forest. He quickly turns, his claws grip the ground beneath him as he slightly tilts his body to compensate for his speed. The machine follows the path as he moves to higher terrain so he can clearly observe the area as the machine comes to a stop in front of a wooden human lair. He lets out a low growl as the human exits his machine and walks towards the structure. His ears twitch. Something is approaching him. He lets out a deep growl. His icy blue eyes peer through the darkness. A silhouette appears. He stands to his massive 8-foot height as he bares his fangs and lets out another deep growl. The silhouette moves closer to him as it lets out a growl. His ears twitch at the sound. He sniffs deeply. The silhouette begins to take form. A huge head appears in the moonlight, deep amber eyes peering at him. A black 7-foot-tall dogman with a brown thick mane stands in front of him, broader than he is. A barreled chest, longer muscled arms leading to large hands with equally large claws, strong canine legs and a short tail. The massive beast snarls at him. He narrows his icy blue eyes as he stands his ground, his claws extended, ready for an upcoming battle. He wastes no time. He moves in a flash, digging his claws into the black-furred beast's side. His other clawed hand closes quickly around the beast's neck. He slams it hard into the ground. He roars. Pinning the other dogman to the ground, it thrashes about, trying its best to break free. He slashes the beast across its face, his claws leaving their mark. He narrows his icy blue eyes as he stands his ground. He takes a breath as he releases his grip. The black dogman regains its feet, placing its massive hand on his face. He lets out a low whimper as if to say it surrenders to him. He stands tall and lets out a loud howl in victory. He turns his head towards the wooden structure and lets out a low growl. The black dogman takes a step forward as it looks at the wooden structure. He nods and takes off towards the structure. Suddenly, bright lights appear, lighting up the dark forest. He watches the black dogman stop, then quickly move towards the side of the house. He moves as well to the opposite side of the cabin and begins to scratch at the wooden exterior wall. He sneaks over to the corner and silently watches his new companion. The black dogman moves along the side of the house. He places his massive claws on the side of the structure. Slowly, he peers through the window, his amber eyes moving from human to human as he sizes them up. He sees 3 of them with weapons. His eyes meet the brown-haired female. The fear pouring from her fills him with excitement. Her screams fill his ears. His ears twitch at the scream. The terror-filled sound is intoxicating to him. He lets out a low growl as his lips curl back into a smile. Suddenly, gunfire erupts. His icy blue eyes narrow. The black-furred Dogman dashes away from the house and back into the darkness of the trees. He humps and turns the corner. He smashes his shoulder into the front door of the structure. 2 gunshots echo in the darkness. He looks up towards the roof. He jumps 20 feet up to the peak of the roof. He lands with a solid thump. He sniffs deeply, his ears listening for the smallest movement. He can hear a heartbeat coming from underneath him. He peers over the side and sees a small circular window below him. Stone sets 2 boxes of 7mm rounds down next to him. He kneels down and leans the Remington 700 bolt-action rifle on the wall. He looks out of the small circular window in front of him. He quickly loads the magazines and injects one into the rifle. The butt of the rifle firmly sits in the crook of his shoulder. He chambers around and leans his cheek on the stock. As he closes one eye, the green of the night vision illuminates the darkness. He scans the trees. There, he can see the massive head of a monstrous wolf-like creature. He slowly takes a breath in as he gently squeezes the trigger. Boom! He missed. The trunk of the tree splinters. He quickly dashes to another tree. Stone chambers another round. Boom! Stay still, Stone says. A loud thump on the roof. Oh, shit. He looks up at the roof. He reaches for his Glock 17 on his hip. Automatic gunfire erupts. O'Neill, what the hell is happening? A loud roar. Screams of agony. Suddenly, a noise from above. Stone looks up. The roof is beginning to crack above his head. He lifts the 7mm and lets off a shot. He growls in anger. He continues to break through the roof. Pieces of wood fly through the air. Another shot. This one just misses his left leg. He lets out a howl. He uses his massive jaws to rip away the final layer of the roof between him and the human below. Son of a bitch. Stone raises his rifle. Claws swipe, knocking the rifle from Stone's hands. He roars as he drops down into the loft. Stone rolls out of the way as the beast drops down. Stone raises his weapon. The beast dives towards him. He smashes into the human. They both fall to the first floor. He rolls over the human and gains his feet. Stone lands on his side. His side was throbbing. Stone, cover your eyes and ears, yells O'Neill. Boom. A bright light fills his vision. A loud ringing fills his ears. He roars in frustration. Stone's vision is blurred. He feels 2 hands grab the straps to his vest. O'Neill drags him over the cabin floor into the bedroom, slamming the door behind him and barricading the doors with Aaron's help. They use the dresser, the bed, and another cabinet. Anything they could find. Aaron, check Stone, O'Neill said. Stone, are you all right? Aaron said, while placing her hands on his face. Yes, I'm good, replied Stone. What happened to Lisa? Stone looks at O'Neill and Aaron. Well, what happened to her? She's gone, O'Neill said. One of those things came right through the window and grabbed her. We unloaded on it, but it was too late. It already had her. Did you hit it? Yes, Aaron said. Barely. It was fast. Faster than anything I've ever seen. It didn't seem fazed by being shot, though. It grabbed Lisa and went right back out the way it came. What happened to you? O'Neill asked Stone. There was another one on the roof. It ripped through the roof like a hot knife through butter. It tackled me like Ray Lewis, and then next thing I know, all I see is white, Stone explained. Yeah, it was that, or you would have been food, said O'Neill. I never would have thought I would be happy that I got flashbanged. What's the plan, O'Neill? He is disoriented. His ears are ringing. He roars in frustration. These pathetic humans. He slams his body into a wall as he tries to regain his feet. His massive claws scrape across the wooden floor of the cabin. He sniffs deeply. He can smell the humans. They are close, still inside. He stands to his full height and lets out a long howl. He can smell the humans. He hears heavy footfalls approaching him. He bares his fangs. A low growl comes from the other dogman. His vision is clearing. He sees the black-furred dogman scratching at the wall next to him. Suddenly, fiery lead comes blasting through the wooden wall. One hits the black-furred dogman in the side, another in its arm. A yelp escapes its maw. He quickly makes his way outside. He sees the humans running for the trees. He roars and gives chase. Crashing through the remaining wall of the cabin, wood flies through the air. The black-furred dogman quickly follows behind him. He moves off to his left to cut the humans off. Run! Run! Aaron yells. Stone looks behind him and sees the black dogman hot on their tails. Oh shit, one is right behind us. Stone raises his pistol and starts letting off shots. The black-furred dogman hits the forest floor. I got it, Stone yells. O'Neill and Aaron stop and turn to look. They see Stone approaching the dogman on the cold ground, blood beginning to stain its black fur red. Is it breathing? Asked Aaron. It doesn't appear to be, replied O'Neill. Come on, let's check, O'Neill said. Guns up. Stone moves towards the beast with his pistol raised. I got you, you fucking abomination. Stone sees the dogman's upper body, slowly moving up and down. Stone, Aaron calls out. Careful, you idiot. I got it under control, Stone replies. Just then, the black-furred dogman opens its amber-colored eyes and quickly pounced on Stone, ripping into his chest with his fangs. Blood squirts from Stone's chest. Stone screams out in pain as the beast sinks his fangs deeper into Stone's chest. Stone squirms to get free. The sound of Stone's ribs cracking fills O'Neill's ears as the dogman pushes his powerful claws into Stone's side. No! O'Neill yells. Automatic gunfire echoes through the forest as Aaron and O'Neill unload their weapons. Fur, blood, and tissue fly through the air as a barrage of bullets penetrate the flesh of the black-furred dogman. Blood sprays in all directions. The massive beast drops to the ground. Its black fur now crimson red. The warm liquid pools around its body. A howl sounds from the darkness around them. Aaron and O'Neill quickly eject the spent magazines in their weapons. Reaching for another, they both insert another magazine as they scan the surrounding forest. Aaron, we have to get back to the cabin. Why in the hell would we do that? Aaron replied. O'Neill can hear the terror in her voice. The truck is there. We can get back to town and get help, said O'Neill. It beats fucking being eaten alive, right? What town? We're in the middle of nowhere, Aaron says. It's about 4 hours southeast of here, O'Neill replied. Okay, let's do it, Aaron says, as she feels her heart beating out of her chest, the HK-416 shaking in her hands. They begin to run back towards the cabin, their hearts racing. He can smell the blood of his kind. He bursts through the forest towards the scent. The scent is getting stronger. His pace slows as he can see the humans through the trees. One of the humans is approaching his comrade. He watches as the black dogman attacks the pathetic human, ripping a bloody chunk of flesh away from its body. His lips curled back into a smile at the sight. He can hear the wet rip of the human's flesh being ripped away. Just then, the other two humans unleashed fire at the black-furred dogman. His body shook as the fire flew through his body, blood staining the ground. Rage filled him. He threw back his head and let out a howl. A warning call to these humans. They won't leave this place. As he brings his massive head down, his icy blue eyes narrow at the two remaining humans. Suddenly, the humans take off running. He is intrigued. Where are they going? He wonders. He slowly approaches the defeated dogman. He bends down and sniffs deeply. He is reminded of when those humans destroyed his family. His eyes flew open widely. Rage fills him. The scent of the one human. He smelled it before. That human was there when his pack was taken from him. His mother. All the fur on his body stands up as he remembers the gunfire filling his ears, the smell of blood and death filling his nose. He roars like he's never roared before. It echoes through the wilderness. It was a roar of pain and anger. He begins to consume the fallen human, its blood dripping down his black and red fur, sloping wet ribs. His ears twitch. He can hear the humans running through the forest. No matter. He will be able to catch them. O'Neill and Aaron approach the cabin, the two of them breathing heavily, sweat dripping down their faces. "Holy shit," says Aaron. "I need water." "It's in the truck. Hang on." "I need to go get something in the cabin," said O'Neill. "What? No way. That thing is out there. Who knows how far?" Aaron says frantically. "Cover me, Aaron," O'Neill ordered while running into the cabin. "Damn it!" Aaron exclaimed. She walks up to the giant hole in the side of the cabin. She peers inside and sees the blood from Lisa. Tears fill her eyes as she recalls what happened. The black dogman came from nowhere, bursting through the window, grabbing Lisa with its massive hand, digging his claws into her. The monster ripped Lisa's throat out, blood and tissue splattering on the floor and wall of the cabin. Then just as fast as it appeared, it was gone, carrying Lisa in its massive jaws. Aaron was staring blankly at the blood. "I'm so sorry, Lisa," she says. The sound of tree branches snapping brings her back to the present. "Oh no." "O'Neill!" Aaron screams. "We have to get out of here now." O'Neill comes running through the door leading to the basement, carrying what appeared to be a rifle case as well as a duffel bag. "Let's go," he says to Aaron as he runs past her. Aaron and O'Neill run to the truck. Aaron quickly jumps in the truck as the dogman bursts through the trees. "Come on, get in. Get your ass in the truck. Now," Aaron yells. O'Neill turns to see the black and red dogman just 30 feet away from him. "Die, you son of a bitch," O'Neill says as he pulls a detonator from his bag and pushes the button. Boom! The explosion knocks the dogman through the air. He can smell the fear coming from the humans. He is almost upon it, the one that took his family from him. Suddenly, fire and wood fly through the air. The force from the explosion sends him through the air. He crashes into a thick pine tree. A yelp escapes his maw as his breath is removed from his lungs. He sees the human through the window of the machine as his vision goes black. "Damn," O'Neill exclaims. "I forgot how much C4 I put in the basement. Holy shit." "You psycho," Aaron yells. "Hey, it allowed us to get out of there without being ripped apart," O'Neill countered. "Oh my God," Aaron says as she smacks O'Neill in his arm. "Get some rest, Aaron. We have about a 4-hour drive, give or take. You might as well rest while you can." "Sounds good," Aaron says as she leans her seat back. The morning sun peeking through the trees. A northern timber rattlesnake slithering through the grass, coming upon a giant mass. Its tongue tasting the air. The giant mass begins to move. The snake coils up into a striking position. His icy blue eyes open as he sees the serpent in front of him. He lets out a low growl. The snake strikes. His jaws close around the snake's head, severing it from the rest of the snake's body. He gains his feet as he swallows the head of the snake. He sees the smoldering wreck of the once wooden cabin. He walks towards the tire tracks, sniffing deeply, the smell of smoke and blood filling his nose. He shakes the ashes off of his sleek black and red coat. He digs his claws into the ground as he pushes off the cold morning ground, heading in the direction of the scent of the two humans. "What kind of town is this, Rich?" Aaron says in an angered tone. "Rich? First time for everything," O'Neill replies. "Seriously?" says Aaron. "The town is set in the mountains, with one road leading in and out. A few houses, a fast food restaurant, a general store, gun shop, gas station, a post office, and a diner called Francine's Paradise." O'Neill pulls into the diner parking lot. 2 trucks, a police cruiser, and a few motorcycles are already parked. The two get out of the vehicle and enter the diner. "Hey folks, welcome. Take a seat anywhere you like," an older blonde-haired woman says. "Thank you," says O'Neill. All eyes are on the two strangers. O'Neill and Aaron sit in a corner booth. The police officer stands up and walks towards them. "Hey there, folks," the officer says. "You two look like you've been through hell." "You have no idea," Aaron scoffs. "Aaron," O'Neill says in a stern voice. "What happened?" says the officer. "We were attacked by a beast." "Aaron," O'Neill raised his voice. The officer took a step back. "Wait a minute." O'Neill looks at the officer. A terrified look painted across the man's face. "Can you describe it?" the officer says. The two look at each other. An 8-foot black and red wolf-like creature with long, sharp teeth, claws, and icy blue eyes, Aaron says, looking confused. "Black and red?" the officer questions. "Well, that's not the one we know." "What?" "There's more." "There's more?" Aaron says, tears filling her eyes. "There's about 3 more," says the officer. Suddenly, a howl, long and drawn out, followed by another, then another, followed by a loud, deep roar. O'Neill and Aaron stand up and walk to the window of the diner. The other patrons look at each other. "We're in for it now," says the blonde-haired woman. He approaches the ridge overlooking the small town. The wind blows through his fur, the scent of his kind in the air. He sniffs deeply. Suddenly, a howl. Another, then another, followed by another. His icy blue eyes narrow. His ears twitch. His lips curl back as he stands to his 8-foot height. He lets out a deep, challenging roar. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to Descent into the Unknown for more horror content.